Yes, so hello guys, welcome to Motion Design with Juwon and Basari. Quickly, Basari is the team that is sponsoring this, so you guys should quickly follow Studio Basari on Twitter. They're the ones making this possible. Okay, yes, I just sent the name of the product to our chat, so you can just check that on Twitter and follow up. Also, I wanted to apologize for last week. YouTube yanked us, and there was nothing I could do. There's one weird live that's on the YouTube, but we'll just leave that alone and jump straight to it. So you guys can see my screen, right? And yes, you're supposed to follow on Twitter and IG, whichever one is fine. Okay, so please confirm that you can see a Figma interface right now. Let me see you guys confirm that. All right. So let's just get to it. Okay, so today's class will be very brief. We just want to quickly cover what we went through in that last class that everybody missed, and it's just mobile design, how you can easily create interactions in Figma, like for people who don't have like a crazy in-depth knowledge about Jitter or After Effects to make animations or make subtle interactions. You just quickly want to show something to your mobile developer. We'll be covering those small animations that involve making shapes like change form or making shapes move in environments, making text move. We'll be working with like button animations for mobile, icon animations, and yeah. After that, we'll then move to an expansive like mobile design flow for an onboarding inside Jitter. So that will pretty much give us a quick run through of some of the basics. Let me check that. I just saw. What was that? Felt like someone raised their hand or something. But yeah, I'll just keep going. Okay, so some of the basics that you can just use to quickly make things happen and maybe show stuff to your developer without having to, animate stuff in Jitter or After Effects. Then subsequently, we'll show you how to do that in Jitter. So going straight into a screen, and I have this circle here. I'll just use this to make that same illustration. I don't know why the after delay function wasn't working there. So after I create a component here, I then add a property, a variant for this guy. Yes, so I make this guy disappear upwards inside there, that frame, because it's set to clip content here. So I just make that guy disappear in there, and this one is the way it is. So I come to the prototype settings here, and on click this is going to happen, but it's going to happen smart animate, and it's going to be bouncy. So when it drops, it just has that kind of effect. So if this one doesn't work, then sums up with Figma. Label that this thing's name is. Let me check the file name. 170. That's it. Okay. So yes, if we preview this, how many seconds is it set? Oh, sorry, set to click. Yes, so just like that. So I'll restart that, and you see if I just click on this guy, it bounces in. Likewise, you could experiment and do other things like maybe just a gentle, sorry about that beep, maybe just a gentle like ease in situation there where it doesn't actually bounce, you see. So it depends on the scenario. So same principle for if I wanted to just animate some text. I have this in a frame, and the frame is clipped like I said earlier. So let me clip that. The reason for it being clipped is so when I do this, it can just vanish behind the fold there. So that's like the basic principle behind the text animating in. So I just hit variant here and make another variant of this, make my text again, and you can do it from bottom too if you want, and set my prototype animation here. Let's leave that on click as well so we can work it. Yeah, just leave it a gentle smart animator. It can even just bounce if I want, and we'll just set this back on click so we can gentle. We'll just set this on click. So yes, we'll go to assets. I'm guessing this is it. Remove this guy and let's test that. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, so this is it, and it disappears, and you click it and it goes back. So you see, that's if you wanted to play around with text. Next up is, on mobile you want your buttons to look good. That's what I like to call it. And you want to set up a sequence where when you click on a button something happens, and oftentimes you don't know how you set that up in Jitter or anywhere, and it doesn't have to be something serious, just a simple animation like when you click send, it says sending and then it moves to send. So let me show you an example of what that is, and then we'll just quickly run through how to set it up. So if I click send, you see it loads up and then it just shows sent. So it loads up to sending and then it goes to sent. So that's just like a basic small mobile animation. So to set it up, first you want to create this, and the base principle of this is still something normal, still the same thing we just did. You have one frame that has sending, another one that is a variant of this one. Remember, you have to create a component that has 2 dots and one with 3 dots there, and then you just connect them in a prototype. This one is after 800 milliseconds instant, the same thing with this coming down here, you get, and this one just goes back to this guy. So you then create a button itself, right, as a component. Then you drag in this component, that's it right here, you get, and then you set up the variants. So variant 1 obviously definitely is the base state, it has nothing. Variant 2 is the one you're going to put this guy in, right, which is what we have here. And then variant 3 is going to just be this regular button but with past tense sent and a check mark, which again we can see clearly here. So these are just small ways to spice up your design prototype in Figma for when you're maybe making a small illustration for your developer. This one right here is, where is it? Yes, so it's like icon animation. Maybe someone clicked on a favorite animation, a favorite icon, and you don't just want it to always come off boring and soft. So if you just set up something to give it life a bit, you see, it just fidgets a little bit. So I'll show you how we set that up as well. So we have 3 variants of that base icon here, right? The first variant happens on click, when you click the icon, right? Smart animate, and it happens in 1 millisecond. So there's no delay, it just happens immediately you click it. Now it moves into a state where the icon is slightly slanted, and then it is filled now. with some the like preload state of this color, and the final state is this one. You see here all these details, smart animate, and this one happens on bouncy. So once this guy goes up and comes down, this will bounce. So we have the final thing here like that. Yeah. Okay, so does anybody have any questions so far? Okay guys, please, you can ask your questions. All right. So we'll be moving off to the juicy part now. This is just like a quick preamble. Yeah, show us how things move when we're like making a mobile screen in Figma. So now I want to come to this guy and go about how we'll animate it in Jitter. As you can all see, I've broken it down. This is the final state of what I want to animate here. You understand? So I've broken it down into all the different states. This thing is just circles, by the way. It's nothing crazy. It's just circles. Let me bring it out. So you see here, it's just circles, nothing serious. Okay, before we move here, I wanted to quickly bring up something. In case you don't have time to do all this and you don't even have the experience with all this and you just want to quickly get something small or something more refined to use, there's a plugin called where is it? There's a plugin called Lottie, right? So if you can make some of these things in Lottie, same step, just different prototype phases, different variant phases. But if you use Lottie, you can just easily get maybe a small GIF. So you see, this is Lottie and this is how it works. You can set a prototype flow to here. But you come to Discover and you see free animations. So you see there's quite some stuff here. So let's pick this one. This looks like a nice one. And let's just insert GIF. So it will come in poor quality because I don't pay for Lottie, but if you pay for it, then you can get better quality on most of their on all of them basically. Where is it now? I don't know why it's like delaying here. Okay. And it's here now, so I'm guessing if I click on the prototype here, you see, and you can just use that in the design. You can send the GIF to your developer as well to make use of it. Just explore Lottie and see what you can find. Okay, so moving back to where we were about to get into. So I was saying this was just a circle made with triangles basically. It's nothing crazy, nothing new. So we will be taking these screens one by one into Jitter and making the animation, then importing new layers and making what we want. Okay, so we'll start here. Okay, we're live. Okay, quickly to explain the Jitter interface. This brings another frame, just like this. This is text, a box, a circle, star. This opens up your gallery. To add music, you can create a vector and then comments here. At this part, we have the design and animate tabs. So this is the design. This is the base design that we just imported, and these are the layers here. Everything that's inside, basically all the So our first thing I want to do is I just want this guy to rotate, right? And let me okay, I come to animate, new animation, let's say custom, and then you make it rotate. But before I come here, I just jumped that. I should have. So you see there are different types here, so you can just look at each one and pick whichever you feel suits what you're trying to make. This is just, I'm just going to use rotate because that's what I want to do here. So you see now the background rotates, but it happens too fast. So let's say, and you can see that it has added it to the timeline here. So if I click on it, you see it brings all the details of that particular animation added. And if I drag this timeline longer, let's say it's about, let's say 7 seconds, just to give it that slow burn effect, and I extend, so you see now, but it's not happening the way I would like. So it's because it's on smooth. The easing is set to smooth, right? But I don't want any easing. I just want it to keep rotating slightly in the background like this. So I put it to none now, and as you see here, let me start that again. We're just rotating nicely in the background. I would prefer it to happen shorter. Or faster rather. So now that is set up, right? The next thing we want to do now is the next phase of our screen, which is the lights and then the logo and then these guys. Oops, I think network is okay. We're back. All right, so the next thing we want to do is bring in the lights and then the stars and the coins and all these guys to just have an effect that they are gliding in. So come here again. I like doing it like this, it might seem repetitive, but it helps me get what I want in Jitter properly without it turning the whole thing to images. So it opens a new Jitter file. So it might be kind of stressful in that sense, but I prefer to do it like this than putting everything in one, and some things become images and sometimes it's not nice. So I'll just take these three guys first. Copy, and I'll come here to the beginning and I'll paste them here. So we just want to animate these guys to new animation. Let's say maybe spin in at like maybe less than a second and at different points. This can be here. So now that the lights are plugged in, I might want to increase their density, maybe like the lightness of them. You see that? So that's why I imported them separately, because if you bring them on its own, I mean together, it could have turned them into images, and you can't change the effect here. Maybe like the color or something like that. I could even decide I want them to not be this color, maybe something that actually shows light a bit more. Yeah. Okay, so all of that happens in the first second, right? Then we go back to our Figma. Did we get the stars on this guy? Good. And we just copy all our stars here. Yes, and paste. So at the beginning of the timeline, the stars also fizzle in. Design, I would like them to be a bit bigger. Okay, that didn't happen. Okay, so new animation, I would like them to spin in. And of course, it will happen at different times, so it gives the illusion that there's some cosmic like lightning going on. And it just keeps happening. So let's see what that looks like. You see now. Okay, let's add some more. Flip things here. Okay, let's just do it like this for now. So yeah, it looks like stars are just popping up now. Okay, so now we go back to Figma and we want to get our last three guys. Okay, so we're here now. I'll just copy this. I'll paste it here. I think this is the wrong place. Yes, so paste it here. So let's delete this one. Delete this one. So you see how everything's happening, but we now want this guy to also just, let's just even have him be there all through, or maybe grow in. Yeah, and let me think, what would I like to have here? Okay guys, we need to pause for a second. I need to like reset the Vimeo. It's 30 seconds, so let me just record another one so we don't lose out. Okay. All right, we are back. Oh, you have a question? Go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Everyone. Yeah. It was about when you go into Jitter, when you were like copying copying and pasting each frame. I think I got sort of confused there. So how you
Okay, so the
did
extent.
that as you kept the old frames.
Okay. So I didn't really keep the old frames. You get, I deleted those ones. So what I do is, let me quickly show you again. Everybody can see my screen, right? Okay. So when you copy a frame, you want to go gradually, because if I just come here now and I copy everything like this to Jitter, it might actually give me the whole thing at once, and it would save all my time. So you could try that. But sometimes Jitter might just turn some things to pictures. So that's why I did it like that, to show you that process. But yes, I do encourage you to just try to export to Jitter at once sometimes and see if it doesn't fuck any of your images up. But if it does, then you might want to layer them separately. You get? So that's why we said that. So when you do export each frame, you go into Jitter. You have where you're working already, your base frame like this, right? So if you do export a frame like this, maybe you just come here, Jitter, and you copy it. Slight network ruffle. Yes, so you copy it, it then loads up, and then you open in Jitter. Right, so I can then just like come here, copy this guy, and then paste here. You understand? And continue what I was doing. But I do advise that when you want to work, right? Who is asking for WhatsApp link? So I was saying, when you want to work, just try and export everything at once. Then if it doesn't give you all the elements the way you like them, then try individually. Does that clear it up?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So if anybody else has a question, they can. There is no WhatsApp link, by the way, Ogene Caro Abraham. There will just be the YouTube link will be posted after the call. Yeah, so back to our animation. So we have these three guys here now, and we want to. So I'd like to work on this guy first. I don't know if it should just be there by default. This guy's going to be a bit longer. Okay. So I feel like I want to make the lights a bit more defined, so I want them to be bigger. And I also want these guys, I don't know if their sizes are increasing while I'm doing this, they're just moving. Okay, they are actually. So let's say I just select all view and try and make them bigger. Oh shit, the class ends in some minutes. Okay, let's just quickly round up. How many minutes till it ends? 11 minutes. Okay, I should be able to finish this in 11 minutes, no worries. But in case, how did they do this thing again? Let let me just see if I can quickly wrap this up. Let me do Google Meet, schedule new one just in case. New meeting. Okay, so I've sent a meeting link to the chat. Let's all quickly save that just in case this one like is cut off. Okay, so back to Jitter. Yes, I said I wanted to increase the sizes of all those guys. Now that we have, we want the logo. I think I want it to grow in, maybe with a bounce. I don't want it to be a bounce, so I'll change that to just a fade in, or maybe it should just be there automatically. Oh shit, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I need to share my screen again. This guy. Okay, so back here. Yes, so yes, so I was saying I want this guy to just be there, maybe a bit bigger, honestly, and scale in. Yeah, without scaling too. So what is now going to happen over a long period of time? Smooth, no easing. Yes, no easing. So it just keeps scaling. So it gives like a nice, it's growing illusion. And at the beginning, we just add an animation for these guys to grow in and bounce. So now here's what we have. And we have this final part to add just to give it, I think I'll just change this because I know Jitter is not going to give me Jalisha. Yes, so we'll just leave it like this and copy this guy, put him here. Quickly see how many minutes. 7 minutes. Okay, we'll finish. Copy. Network. Okay, so you see it even brought this text itself in as a picture. So I'll just copy this. This is an example of what I was saying. It brought it in as a picture, so it's useless for us animation wise. So I'll just copy the button, paste it here, and then just get custom text. Yes, and maybe reduce the letter spacing a bit, give it some nice. Okay, so now we just want this guy, once they are doing all their, naturally all these things shouldn't take too long, and we want it to, you see different types of text animation you could use. I would like it to come from the side like that, very short. And maybe the button centralized a bit more, and yeah. So maybe a bit earlier too. And I suddenly want to change this to come downward. Yes. So this is our full animation for. Let me go to the export panel. Different options you can export. Because of our network, let's just do it for. How many minutes more do we have? 3 minutes. Okay. And here we go. We have carefully animated that screen. So subsequently, we'll do maybe the next class is definitely going to cover web, how we could put this mobile screen on a website, how we could animate actual in-app mobile UI, how we animate web UI as well. So thank you guys for coming today. This class has been recorded, definitely, and it will be. Go ahead, Faith.
Just one more question. The way you were copying and pasting the different frames, like on Jitter. Yes, so if you, let's say like your design.
Hi guys. Yes, so to quickly finish up, I just wanted to show you how to run a click through once you are in Jitter and you want to like show clicking from one page to another. So just want to quickly show how if I click on this get started, it can pop this up and we can go here. So we use this as our mouse and we'll just copy this page straight to Jitter, not to waste our time. So now we just want to take this guy and this overlay frame. Yes. So this is what we want to copy and come and work with here. Okay, so I'm guessing we bring the mouse first. So because there is no way for us to show that hand process happened, we just use this as the indicator. So let's say new animation, fade in, right around after everything happens. Yeah, so we have this guy, maybe grow in with a bounce. That happens swiftly. And then on the same item, right, you add a new animation. You see it's still on it. And this one will be a move animation. So just bring it here. So you can see it pops up and it moves. And then we want to simulate clicking. Right. So now right after it moves, this has to kind of scale a little bit. Just a little bit to signify it has been clicked. So once that click happens, this whole page is supposed to just transition and this guy appears. So delete this guy. Make sure. On that click, this frame just fades in. While this guy slides in. So you see, once you click that, this guy pops up. But we want to change the animation here. I think it happens too slow. I think it doesn't happen naturally. It's simple. So you see, once you click that, this frame comes up. So that just quickly shows us how to go from one screen to another while the action is still going on. Yeah.